Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about something that I've learned over the last 6 or 7 weeks or so. It's something that I knew existed, but I've only really fully understood it since I've experienced it, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, like I said. And I want people who are running businesses or on self-improvement or just wanting some kind of better life to understand this and just hopefully take this on board from what I've learned, because the last few weeks have not really been all that enjoyable for me, and it's really opened my eyes to a lot of different stuff, and I'm still basically working through it now. But yeah, so just as a bit of a backstory, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ben Lister. I run a agency that helps many different service-based businesses to get more customers, right? And it's a completely online business. And we have been relatively successful. I mean, the average person would say it's successful, but obviously I want to do more, and I have, big dreams and big ambitions for the business. But for the longest time, I basically was working towards a certain point, which was to be able to move to London with my girlfriend. And it's been on the cards for, I'm not even joking, like at least 5 years. I'm 24 now. I've been planning this for an awful long time. It might even be longer than that. I was looking at moving to London while I was at university. It never really came about, and it's been on the cards basically since I left, since I finished university like 3 years ago. And so what has happened is we sort of delayed this whole period where, a lot of people that move to London, they go to like their first place that they get is like not great, and then they make a bit of money, they advance in their career, and they go through, and they basically go on to get a better place, right? But because we delayed it for so long, what happened is that my business got to a point where I was making quite a lot of money for my age, not relative to what a lot of people make and what a lot of people might think is successful, but I was making decent money, and I was saving good bits of money. My business bank account was growing, and financially things were looking pretty good, right? And the only reason why we didn't actually make the move was initially because my girlfriend had exams. She is basically, well, she's now a qualified lawyer, but she was training to be a lawyer, and it was like a super stressful period. Obviously those exams were like pretty full on, and the move to London is obviously going to be like a pretty stressful experience, and we both know that. And what happened is we delayed this for so long, and when it finally happened, we realized that we actually had a lot more money than we thought, okay? And this for me was always like the driving thing, to move to London, to live in an apartment like this, which is pretty nice. If I just like flip it around, I don't want to give away a whole bunch of stuff, but we have like this huge view, and for like what it is, for like the first place that we've ever lived in, it's like pretty incredible, right? And we have the money to do this and more, and like all my basic needs are met now for the first time. And it's almost like the last 3 years where I've been working in business and really trying to push myself, it's always been towards this, and I've had a very clear goal of like, okay, well, the move to London, live in this flat, live in this apartment, have this kind of lifestyle where I go to this like super expensive gym that costs, more than I would want to admit on the internet, and have these expensive things and do this expensive stuff. And I realized that like it doesn't actually cost that much to get whatever you want. And there's probably people watching this right now who haven't signed their first client. Maybe they're an agency owner and they're looking to make 10K a month or something, and they don't really make a whole lot of money right now. But from my point of view, to have the lifestyle that I have right now, where the average person would say it's a lot of money, and my expenses are, at least a few thousand a month. But it doesn't actually take that much to get to that point, and it doesn't take up that much of my time. And for me as a business owner, I don't actually have to do that much or work that hard now that systems are in play and I have a team in play. And it feels so bizarre and so crazy because, I know a lot of people who don't make this kind of money, and I know a lot of people around me, and I see a lot of people around me who have, a fraction of what I have basically. And I basically have what almost the top 10%, 5% of people in a first world country would want, and I don't actually do that much work for it. And it sounds kind of crazy, but like, what I would consider that much work, if I work 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, that would probably be enough to maintain this. But if I want to grow, obviously I need to do more than that. And the big issue that I'm coming into right now is that for so long I held this goal, this lifestyle on a pedestal. This was like the one thing that I wanted for, like I said, years and years. And now that I have it all, it's kind of like I've lost that, and I don't really, well, I'm coming to grips of really how to actually overcome that. And so a lot of people, they're driven by certain things, lifestyles, or if they're looking to prove something to someone, and that's what drives them, right? And they can have that there for years and years and years. The famous example that I always think about is when Tyson Fury won the heavyweight championship of the world for the first time. All his life, he was like I think he was in like 27, 28 when he won it. But all his life, that's what he was training for. He never really went to school. He was always a boxer. This is like the one thing that he wanted. And he just always visualized himself winning the heavyweight championship of the world. And then obviously going on and defending it and, being a successful athlete, right? But once he won that, he had no real motivation to do anything else ever again. And he's, since come to grips with it, and he's, overcome quite a lot, and now he fights regularly, and he, got other motivations and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, or I've done something on that similar scale, but I definitely do understand now this idea that, you work so hard for something and you finally get there, you finally achieve something, you achieve a certain financial milestone, a health milestone, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden, it just feels like you have lost that drive in you. The thing that was pushing you before, the thing that was getting you to the finish line, the thing that made it happen is now gone. And it's so very difficult to understand how to actually change that and to find something else that motivates you just in the same way. And this is really what I'm struggling with now. And what I've realized is that this whole, this stage of my life, living in London and having this lifestyle, it's probably only going to last for like 4 or 5 years. I'm not going to live here forever. It's probably just while I'm in my 20s. But now that I'm in this stage, I have ambitions of what I want to do in the future, but it's kind of like a bit fuzzy, well, it was a bit fuzzy. When I'm going to be in my 30s and my 40s, I want to build quite a large property and basically have like a really big property portfolio. And now that I've realized that basically almost as soon as I've arrived here and I've been to this place and, I've lived this lifestyle for a few weeks and I've been able to put things together and, the flat still isn't like fully put together. Like we're still buying furniture and a few different things like that because we haven't even fully like properly moved in yet, only been a few weeks. But as soon as that has happened and we've lived here, that now I need to plan for the next stage of my life and I need to basically focus on that. And what I've realized is that, whatever you're striving for right now, whether it's 10k per month so that you can move out, whether it's 100k per month so that you can do whatever it may be, right? So you can sit on a beach and work from a laptop in Bali or whatever it may be, right? Whatever stage of your life you're currently working towards, I think you need to appreciate that once you get to that stage, if you don't have something else to look forward to, which you probably do, but maybe in like a very vague sense, like you're not fully understanding what that next stage of your life is, if you don't have that, then you won't be able to work towards anything almost. And it's very difficult to do that. You can maintain your lifestyle because obviously you still want the lifestyle that you currently have or you're working towards once you get there. And so you don't actually need that to do that much hours to get to that point. But you need to realize that when you do get to that point, it's not going to be about really enjoying the moment. It's not really going to be about, taking it in and being so happy that you've got to this point and, the fact that you achieve this success or whatever it may be that you've actually achieved. It's then going to be about the next stage of your journey, right? And whatever that is, whether this is if you, for example, are interested in fitness and you want to weigh a certain amount and be a certain body fat percentage, right? Once you get to that stage, you might have like a dream physique or a dream weight that you can lift or whatever it is that's like way down in the future, like 10, 20 years down in the future, whatever it may be. And when you get to this initial stage now, you are basically going to be pushing yourself towards that stage. So let's say, for example, for me, I've just moved here to London now, and virtually as soon as I get here, now what I'm going to have to do is start to prepare myself for the next stage. Even though it's going to take 4 years, 5 years for that to happen, and to get to that point, I need to now take my business to the point where I'm making, almost 7 figures in a year. Once I get to that point, then I can save up the cash together and I can have, a lot of money and a lot of assets together so that I can go and build the kind of property that I want to. I can, go and buy the kind of properties that I want to. I can go on the kind of, holidays and travel and that kind of stuff that I want to. Maybe I want to build the business that just runs for itself. Maybe I want to have 100% passive income, whatever it may be. My time here in London is not going to be about enjoying myself and taking it in. Obviously, I will do, and I will do the things that I was always planning to do, like I can virtually go out every single weekend and, do crazy things and see lots of different stuff. And, from where I lived before, the opportunity to do that just wasn't there. And so on weekends now I can, spend some really quality time with my girlfriend and I can invite people here and, it's a lot of fun to do. But I'm not actually fully going to be able to enjoy that in the sense that I thought I was, where I just, every single day I would wake up like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm here. This is finally what I wanted to do. I'm living in a great place, in a great city, and I'm doing exactly what I wanted to. It's going to be waking up at, my usual time, going to the gym, doing my work and working towards that next goal. And if I don't have that goal in mind, if you don't have that one thing that you're looking for every single day, then you're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to do the things that you want to. And if you're conscientious in the slightest, like I am, then this will really bug you if you can't do that. And it it's such a strange feeling because, you know, you're drawn to do lazy things like, you know, watch YouTube videos, or, you know, maybe you'll take a break or something like that. Or if you have an hour break from like 12 to 1, which I sometimes do, I will like extend the break for an extra 10-20 minutes or something like that. And it's so easy to do, but it really bugs you because you're conscientious and you have a list of things that you want to do, and you have goals and you have things that you want to strive for, right? But not having that specific goal in place, that destination of, okay, this is where I'm going to, it's so difficult to actually go and complete the task, because in order to put your body through, you know, stressful things, waking up early, lack of sleep, you know, making sure you're exercising regularly, and keeping up with your daily habits and all that kind of stuff, if you're not actually have a picture of where you're going to, of what the goal is, it's going to be so incredibly difficult for you to do that. And I knew that before, but I didn't think that as soon as I'd, you know, got here and I'd achieved some stuff and I'd, you know, making decent money and I can afford virtually, you know, whatever I want, really, all my basic needs are completely met, and there's just nothing that I really need to strive for just to have like a better life right now. If someone gave me, you know, like hundreds of thousands of dollars right now, it wouldn't really change what I'm doing, which is so crazy to say. Like, I wouldn't go out and spend this and buy that and all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't change where I am. And this is like the first time that I've ever been in that situation where, you know, before, when I was not living here, I would basically have the idea that if someone gave me thousands and thousands of dollars right now, then I would move to London, right? I would have the chance to do that. But now that I'm here, you know, I don't really have the desire to do that. And, you know, I'm sure I could always upgrade to like a bigger place and stuff like that. But with just 2 people living here, there's really no point in doing that. We have like everything that we need. And so it is kind of crazy situation to be in, to be honest with you. And I think that if you ever are planning to do something, whether it's moving out, whether it's, you know, moving to a specific country, whether it's, you know, achieving a specific thing, when that thing does happen, or when you just get close to it and you realize, okay, in the next 6 months this is going to happen because I can see that I'm getting to this point and I'm going to be able to do this, you need to look at the next thing before you've even started to actually do the first thing that you wanted to. And it's almost a bit tragic in a sense. It's almost a bit tragic where, you know, you're just constantly looking for the next thing. It's actually a study that I heard about on a podcast, and it talks about basically people's enjoyment when they are doing a day out, a night out with their friends or something like that. And they tracked throughout the day or throughout the night when they were the most happy, when they were the most excited. And you would think, right, if you're going on a night out with your friends, if you're going for some food and then you're going out for a few drinks or whatever, maybe the peak of the night is like when you've just finished your food and you're going to go out for your drinks, right? You go to a pub or a club or whatever it may be. But actually the time when everyone was the most happy and actually the most excited was when they were getting ready with their friends, or, you know, they were just about to go out, or maybe they met up before, and instead of, you know, going straight to the restaurant, they went to someone's house for 10 minutes or something like that. That was when they were most excited, before they actually did anything, when they were just preparing and they were thinking about it and they were talking about it, you know, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it's the same in life, right? Like, if you're planning to go to a certain place or planning to go to a holiday or something like that, the excitement that you get really is almost like the night before. And once you get there, you know, you're happy and you're there, but it's almost like the main enjoyment is by actually pursuing that goal and knowing that you're going to do it, rather than actually being there. And, you know, this is really just put it into context for me and made me 100% believe this is the case. And so whatever you're doing, whether you're working towards a business goal, a fitness goal, health goal, family goal, relationship goal, whatever it may be, you need to always be thinking about the next thing. And it's a tragic thing, and it makes me feel a little bit ungrateful sometimes, but it is just the way that I'm wired. And if I'm not, then I'm not going to be able to do my work, I'm not going to be able to be happy, and I'm not going to be able to do the things that actually makes me the person who I am, which is someone who's, you know, just slightly conscientious and someone who wants to achieve things. So yeah, bit of a different video today, I know, but I hope that it really has helped a lot of people to put themselves in my shoes and understand the situation that I'm in, so that they can improve things and take learnings from the lessons that I've had over the last few weeks. But if you are looking to sign clients, there's a link in the description. You don't have to click it, of course. I don't really care if you do, but it's always there if you need it. But if you like the video, then click like, comment if you want me to cover anything specifically, and subscribe if you are new around here. But yeah, appreciate you watching this one to the end. Cheers.